SBA Nation. It is I, your host, Terry Tugboat, joining you from today, although you may not be able to see it, SBA Studios here back in Seekonk, Massachusetts. We were in Providence, then we were in Orlando, and then obviously there wasn't a podcast for a variety of reasons. But again, today we do have one, and we are back in home sweet home with better editing capabilities, although we did make some changes to the format of the podcast, which we think you will enjoy. But again, give us your feedback in the comment section about what you think about the direction of the segments we're putting in, what you think we should add, anything we should change. Again, obviously, highly value consumer and viewer feedback. So again, have any thoughts, just make sure to let us know. But before we go into the Week 7 podcast, let's hear from today's sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the Department of Defense of the United States of America. The Department of the Defense apparently has decided not to provide any defense to the city of Dallas, as the Cowboys currently rank last in the NFL this year in defense and have given up the second most points through 6 weeks in NFL history, surprisingly enough. And despite of that, the Cowboys have the best offense in both passing yards and points per game this year. Their defense has been lackluster, and the American Department of Defense not holding up their end of the bargain to the city of Dallas. Thank you to the Thank you to the Department of Defense for sponsoring today's video. All right, these were your Week 6 matchups. Bows Bandits squeaked out a win against the Bower of London by less than a point. Nakua and My Coffee handled Hope Iameka, who didn't even cross the 75-point threshold. Lamar, you ready for it? Lost in a nail-biter to Philly Special by 7 points. Albion went from scoring 160, 160, 160 to 130, now 107. Ow. Oh boy. Is it time that his reign of terror comes to an end? Probably not. And then We're Not Worthy scored just about 150 points to beat Aunt Mike's Humanely Manicured Cats, now HM Cats. Not sure what that means. Maybe we can ask Michael, but he also did not crack 100 points and lost to We Are Not Worthy by 50. We Are Not Worthy, again, you can see at the bottom there, our high scorer and team of the week, improving to 4-2. Jay Stu was on by and did a fairly comfortable job handling still more effort than Josh, winning by 137 points. Jay Stu 137, even though she was on by, a very respectable number this week, as she improves 2-4 and picks up a much-needed win. Speaking of much-needed wins, Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am picked up a 2-point win against Team GABA, both high-scoring. Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am happened to score more, although she was projected to score 8 points less, and now does not have one win against a bye-week team, and showing signs of life for the first time in weeks. Jess Bien. She's got a long mountain to climb, but can she get back into it? We will see. And then Bill's Mumbling Bobcats got absolutely flattened by Drake May and friends, as he falls to 2-4. And despite being in 12th, Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am in 13th, I would say Bill currently our worst league member, other than the bye week team, that is. And then again, another shout out to We Are Not Worthy, the high scorer of the week. Now we're going to go into a little segment we like to call Around the League. Not going to dissect each individual matchup this week. Instead, we'll go with an overall scope of the SBA League. We already mentioned We Are Not Worthy, the high scorer of the week with a little less than 150. The low scorer, obviously, the bye week team. The best performing fantasy player this week, only 37.30 points, but was Bijan Robinson. No one into the 40s or 50s this week. There really haven't been many the past couple years that have cracked 50. And then the worst performing player was Cam Little, who did not score a point, had -1 in fact. I believe Jess Stewart has him. I could be wrong. The team in first place, Philly Special, continues to roll, improves to 6-0, although only won by 7 this week. The team in last place remains still more effort than Josh, who got 0 points this week, thanks to a horrible showing by the Panthers defense, despite Carolina picking up a win and having an opportunity to improve past 500 this week, if they are able to pick up a win against the only team without one this year in the New York Jets, and that will be the first time that the Panthers have a winning record past week 3 since 2017. I think the entire league is rooting for the Panthers and their fans that have been put through so much the past couple of years. But again, we will see how that goes. The largest margin of victory, of course, Jay Stu with a 137-point win against still more effort than Josh. And then the smallest victory of this week and the tightest game was the Bower of London, who lost by just a point, 0.92 to be exact, to Bo's Bandits. And to put that into perspective, that is one player having a singular other catch or 10 yards. That's how close less than a point is. And then now we will give you a look at the standings. Again, not going to go in depth on each game, but we are going to mix it up. Tell us what you think, like we already talked about. But again, in first place, Philly Special, 6-0, rolling over the competition. Interestingly enough, Philly Special, not with the most points for. That would go to Team GABA. But they do have the least points allowed, so the easiest strength of schedule so far. Interesting note there from Albion. We'll see if later down the line it was, in fact, his weak competition that has propelled him this far, although he does have the second most points for. But we'll see what happens. I cannot wait for week 13, I believe, when Al collides with Team GABA. Bo's Bandits in second place. 5 through 2 all vying for second place right now, and you can see how tight the league is. There is a difference of 1 game between 9 and 2. Hope I make it. The least scoring 3-3 team. Bo's Bandits, the highest scoring 2-2 team. Again, so contested in the league right now. And you even look at 2 through 4. 17 points. What separates We Are Not Worthy and Bo's Bandits. It is going to be a fun race to the playoffs, although it is still early. Again, playoffs start 1 week sooner this year, actually, because of the number of teams and how he had to factor in the bye week team. The Bower of London, We Are Not Worthy, also at 4-2. Team GABA sitting at a very comfortable 3-3. I don't want to overreact here by saying that Team GABA might be the second, if not the third at the minimum, best team in the league. But you look at points for, she's on top right now. Also has had the most points allowed, meaning she's had the hardest schedule. So again, Team GABA sitting at 3-3 right now doesn't tell the whole story. I like what she's got going for. I really think this is a team that could take back the trophy after she went from worst to first, then back to worst, and then, oh boy, if she gets first this year, what a storyline. Naku and My Coffee, Lamar, you ready for it? And Hope I Make It, all sitting within the 3-3 range and very comfortably in right now, like in the mix for the playoffs and within 100 points all of each other. And you could exchange those either way you wanted, 9 through 7 right now. I mean, it's anyone's game. And then J Stu, HM Cats, Bill's Bumbling Bobcats, and Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am, who now is no longer the doormat of the league. I would bestow that upon Bill's Bumbling Bobcats, all sitting at 2-4 and work to do if they want to make a push for the playoffs. And of course, the bye week team sitting at 0-6, who has scored 30 points all season long. All right, that will do it for your SBA Week 7 podcast. Good luck to all teams as we are halfway to the playoffs already. Seems like it is flying by as they will begin in Week 14 this year. Contested race. Happy watching to the NFL Sunday of Week 7 to all of our league members. Hopefully we can get this out to you before 1 o'clock. Again, let us know what you think we should add, what we should change, what you think of the new format. Just looking to go off viewer feedback and make this the best possible podcast for all of y'all as you enjoy that New York Jazz and downtown New York skyline shot. So signing off, Terry Tugboat.